The wackadoodle left-wing progressive DA in LA has appointed a chief administrator who thinks, well, cops suck. I'm serious. The insanely nutty, progressive, left-wing, marginally American district attorney in Los Angeles is a guy that's not one of our favorites. His name is George Gascon, and he's so unpopular in Los Angeles for not prosecuting criminals that they did a recall and it didn't get anywhere because the Democrats control all of that. And anybody that says I'm a Democrat, regardless of what they believe, regardless of what they do, regardless of what they hire, regardless of who they let out of jail, if you're a Dem, we'll fight to protect you. We don't care what you do because it's party first. Kind of like, in the 1930s in Germany, party first. And if you don't go along with the party, bad things can happen to you. Well, listen to what he's done now. Here's a picture, just so you can lay the land out and understand what we're talking about. That's George Gascon on the right, and the gal in the middle is the same as the gal on the left. This is a person that he has promoted to basically be in charge of his office. And this person that he has hired, this Ms. Blacknell is her name, is phenomenally anti-police. Look at her sweatshirt, t-shirt, I should say, Will. The police are trained to kill us. Now, the district attorney's office works hand in glove with the cops to prosecute criminals. And this woman is absolutely sure the police are trained to kill us. Now, before working in the prosecutor's office, she was a public defender. And she wore a shirt before the police are trained to kill us that said they can't kill us all, referring to the police. She calls the police barbarians, and she calls the police an occupying army, and she's the head of the prosecution that works with the police, who she hates, who she is sure wants to kill all black people. In addition, if that wasn't dumb enough, she wants to abolish all jails and all prisons and let everybody out of jail because, as she put it, that is an antiquated idea. I don't know what she wants to do about them, but it gets better. In 2020, she sympathized with the Black Lives Matter rioters. This is what she said. Please don't come on my page complaining about protesters or looters. Don't text me shit about the Whole Foods in West Hollywood or your beloved Santa Monica. Meaning, she doesn't care. Before, in the riots in the 90s, she said she rioted and she ran off with loot. In fact, she said, quote, when the opportunity arose, we took some shit. It was the most formative time of my life. She is the head of the DA's office. And she hates police. And she doesn't believe rioters should be prosecuted. And she doesn't believe in jail. And she doesn't believe in prison. Now, let me ask you a question. Why is she in office?
Because she's a Democrat. Everything you were just explaining there, Barry, remind me of this old show I used to watch a long, long time ago, and I'm gonna date myself, called Batman and Robin.
Love it.
They would let all the criminals out onto the street, so they would create havoc. This is something that I realized about the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party, Barry, they thrive on chaos. George Floyd. Now the Democrat Party is supporting these Hamas Palestinian terror supporters all throughout the country. When we have destruction, people looting, they're supporting it. You even had Kamala Harris saying, look, if you get caught, we'll bail you out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's make it worse. She raised money in Minnesota to bail out the rioters that burned down Minnesota. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. So all that does is send a signal to all of these people that's committing these crimes that look, we can go out and do whatever, we can destroy whatever. They're gonna bail us out. They got us. They got us. That's the signal that they put out there. But Barry, this is what they want. If and let me put it like this. Remember when President Trump was in office and everybody was working, people
Oh,
were
wait a
working,
minute. The good old days?
Yeah, the good
Remember?
old days. Yeah, long, long time ago, right? You remember when President Trump was in office, people were too busy to go out and loot because they were working. Well, the Democrats made it to where, like, look, if you leave your job and go loot, you'll get payment. You'll get extra this, you get extra that, and it's disruption. Under President Trump, people work, the gas was low, food was low, we respected across the world, and that's not what they want. The opposite is what they're looking for: chaos, destruction, because then they act like they have a movement. Going against police officers, and I just saw a report earlier, but they said within, well, I guess this year alone, they said it was like 2,600 police officers left the force, and they're happy about it. They said, we're winning, we're winning.
If you're a cop and your job is to round up the bad guys and you bring them in for booking in Los Angeles County, and Gascon and his supervisor, who hates cops, who says cops are out to kill us and they can't kill us all, and wants to let everybody out of jail. How many people do you have to arrest that get let out on lesser crimes or no crimes and no prosecution before you go, I'm having a nervous breakdown? Everything I'm doing is being invalidated and the laws aren't being enforced. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to be a construction worker. At least at the end of the day, I don't feel like crap,
Yeah,
right?
honest living, right? Honest
Yeah.
pay. But that's not what they want. Remember, AOC even said, just sit on the couch and we'll pay you a $1,500 a month for doing nothing. Well, these people get restless sitting on the couch and they go out and be violent. Well, why not? The government's going to pay for everything. And if you're a
Or
police, yeah,
yeah, go
and if
ahead.
you're a police officer in the United States of America, that is one of the worst jobs ever. Because if you arrest a criminal, Barry, like you mentioned, and you take the criminal in for doing criminal activity, the criminals can be back out on the street doing the exact same thing because there's not anything they can do. I talked to police officers when I was in DC, and they saw someone actively committing a crime. And they said, well, if we arrest them, they'll just be right back out and it'd be a waste of our time. They can't even pay enough for people to join the police force today because of the left.